The economy has led to a sharp increase in stay-at-home moms entering the workforce, and they're faced with limited opportunities out there. Jennifer Brown is a workplace expert with some tips for women who really want to land a job even when the odds are stacked against them. Welcome to the show, Jennifer.
Thanks, Audra.
The first thing that I thought of when I heard you were coming was, you know what, you kind of have to stay up on what's going on outside, even if you don't think that you're going to have to go back to work, right?
Absolutely. So many women who, even if you're not faced with the choice right away that you'll need to go back to work, you still need to make sure that your skills are sharp.
Okay.
And so the question is, how are you keeping yourself refreshed and knowledgeable about technology, about the world of work as it exists today, which is changing rapidly.
And they're seeing a lot of different changes when they're going out there to apply for jobs. So you've got some great tips here. The first thing is it's frustrating to send resumes out over the internet. You don't know who's getting it, if you're going to get a response back from someone on Mars. But you have to network your way through this.
Absolutely. So these days more than ever, it is absolutely who you know. It's almost 100% that, I would say. Okay. So cutting through the job boards and internet resumes, while it's good, and make sure that you have your profile up on things like LinkedIn and Facebook, and if you use Twitter, it's also a great technique to get to know. But the old-fashioned networking is now more than ever the best technique, networking your way to a job. So really making a list of everybody you know. What can I meet with them about, even if it's for coffee, just to pick their brain? What do you do for a living? Right. How do you find it? What advice would you have for me? Could you give a glance to my resume?
A lot of your skills,
yeah,
too.
And they'll think of you. The point is to stay top of mind. It's like a brand where you see their commercial over and over again. You think of yourself as a product, and you want to make sure that somebody thinks of you and they say, oh, I just had coffee with them the other week. Maybe they'd be great for this job.
Exactly. And another issue that stay-at-home moms often face is the gaps in their resume and having to explain those gaps. So you have to be really mindful of that.
Oh, absolutely. So interviewers will ask you about gaps, but less and less, because I think we're seeing less traditional career paths these days, and many people re-entering the workforce after a period of time out. So in the future, that will be less of a problem. But if you do get asked about gaps, it's very important to have something to fill those, something to talk about. And funny enough, stay-at-home moms are usually involved with their community in a lot of ways. If you really think about the leadership opportunities that you have been engaged with, you do have a great story to tell. Things that you've led, initiatives, school boards, church activities, community activities. Make sure that you think about those in terms of the skills. Absolutely. These are skills that are translatable to the workforce.
Okay.
Your ability to multitask, your ability to do well under stressful conditions now more than ever. That's one thing that's really changed, I think, about the world of work.
All those skills you can transfer those skills into the workplace easily, too. So.
And employers need those skills, I mean, more than ever. And they're very interested in seeing women in the workforce. I think a lot of employers are committed to diversity and committed to making it work for women, and so there's a little bit more flexibility we're starting to see in terms of work-life balance and the ability to have part-time opportunities or work-from-home opportunities that work really well for moms.
And speaking of balance, too, although it's inappropriate to be asked this in an interview, a lot of times women will be asked, how are you going to balance your family with this possible new job? So how do you answer questions like that?
I've been asked if that's illegal, and it's not illegal per se, but it's something to be prepared for. And my advice would be not to let the interviewer go down that road with you.
Okay.
Really redirect the interview and say, that's taken care of, or we've worked that out as a family, but we've also made a choice as a family that, now is the moment I'd like to go back into work, and here's what I can bring to the position. So really reorient the conversation to where you're back in charge, you're back talking about your skills, you're back talking about why you'd be the perfect employee.
Staying on the message. All right. Thank you so much, Jennifer.